Okay, I'll follow up with Kellyanne and tell her that we voted against taking on her client. What's next?
I think that would be me. I sent you guys all a document earlier in the day. You probably haven't had a chance to look at it, but I'm going to share my screen and go over what I need to discuss with you. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Can you
Okay.
enlarge it a little bit? Is that possible?
Yes. How's that?
Good.
Better. Thanks.
Okay. Again, this is something we've all discussed off and on throughout the development of our company, and I want to bring it to your attention again, and there are specific reasons why. What I'm referring to is our leadership assessment in preparation for our leadership development training. As you know, we're very confident in our leaders. We like them an awful lot, but that doesn't mean they're being as effective as they can be. And an assessment and training would help benefit this. As we just discussed, 2020 has been a big year for us. We did a furlough early on, and then COVID gave us a great windfall in that so many companies needed solutions to keep their businesses afloat and helping them expand. So we were able to expand ourselves. We did some restructuring. We added several new leaders, and then we actually expanded our company in October. So why should we do this leadership assessment now? Well, our values. As you know, our values are our most important thing. That was the first thing we discussed when we decided to establish our company. And our number one value, as you know, is compassion in all things. We've communicated this message very well, and we've done it often, but we need to ensure that our leadership team is practicing these values. And as we just discovered, we actually are in the enviable position of being able to turn away business that could be lucrative and even high profile just based on our values. So our values are very important to us. This will be a conversation for a later discussion, but one of the things I want us to do is build on the path goal leadership theory for our leadership training. The thing that this does is really takes all of our values into account. It considers the employees and makes sure that they have intrinsic satisfaction with their work. It considers the environment, the expansion that we just did, not the least of it. It allows for a lot of flexibility of management styles. And most importantly, its focus is on motivation. It defines the goals, it clarifies the path, it removes the obstacles, and it provides support, all of that leading to success, ideally, of course. And since you know I'm a visual person, here is a little snapshot of what path goal leadership theory does, how it flows together. And I think it's a good graphic here. I'll share this PowerPoint with you guys after our meeting, but I think you'll need to dig into this a little bit. Okay, so before we can begin, we need to assess what we have. I propose doing this using 4 elements. Our step 1 is to define our necessary competencies. Step 2 is 9-box ranking, and if you're not familiar with this, 9-box ranking allows us to grade or rank people based on potential and performance. And within this, we can see who's really exceeding our expectations and who might need more basic help. Step 3, one of the most important elements that we're going to do in our assessment is a 360 survey feedback. And step 4, again, is personality testing. And yes, Sarah, I know you think of this as using a magic 8-ball, but it really does have the backing of science behind it, and it is a useful tool. So I do encourage us to do this. Through these 4 steps, we can discover our strengths and weaknesses, and we can, through that, figure out what we can elevate and those that need maybe a little more fundamental training. So defining our competencies, we don't really need to go through this now, but defining our competencies is looking at those elements that we really value. Again, compassion is the core of our values, but we want to make sure people are demonstrating honesty and integrity. We want to make sure they have flexibility and resilience, that they're good communicators, good listeners, and they have the ability to motivate their followers. Here's a snapshot of a 9-box ranking. Again, I'm not going to go into this because it's all in the document I sent you earlier today. Again, our most valuable tool is our 360 survey feedback. This assesses the leaders using both their peers and their followers. It's anonymous, so people can be completely open with what they have to say. Some sample questions are there, and in addition to ranked questions, like I have listed, there is the ability to have a text box answer that can give us more specific details on what improvements may be needed. And finally, the personality indicator, my favorite, Sarah's least favorite. The Big 5 personality inventory, all of these tools or all of these features are something everybody has to a certain degree. And knowing where people have their strengths and their weaknesses gives us the ability to design leadership programs that can encapsulate or elevate their strengths. The Big 5 does not specifically test for emotional intelligence, but this is something that we do want to capture. So we will choose a company that will pull the emotional intelligence score from the other questions. And that's about it. That's the summary. Do you guys have any questions or comments?
I'm good with that.
Okay, well then I will schedule a follow-up meeting. I will also put together a team that will be able to start designing our assessment program. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for your time.